Okay. So before we go into the details of the chapter, let's go over a few basic terms, right? Who can tell me what is a line?
Now a line is a point from it never ends. Now it starts from a single point and it goes on forever.
Okay, starts from a single point and goes on forever. Okay. Okay, so this for your understanding, I'm drawing something here, right? This is what we call a line. Can anybody else try to give me the definition? Or just in your words, what is a line? If you were to explain it to somebody.
Ma'am, a line is a straight segment which connects 2 points.
Okay. Any other answers?
Ma'am, a line is a like yeah, that's same. Like a line is a segment that joins 2 points. So like point A and point B, and the line between them. So
Ma'am, a line, it extends from both the sides. It has no end. When it does, we call it a line segment.
Huh, okay. Okay, so Ashka has gone one step ahead and given us the definition of
Yes,
line.
ma'am. I think I made a mistake, ma'am. I said the definition of a ray.
Okay, you said a definition of a ray. No, no, Aryan, you've given me the definition of a line or a line segment. Ray would be different, right? Okay, we'll come to ray in a bit. Okay, so most of you have answered this, and unfortunately, I haven't got the correct answer. Basically, a line is a collection of points. Okay, it's a collection of infinite points. So, all these are also points, right? They would also lie on the line. I drew that uh, previous figure just to confuse you, right? Okay, yeah. So, this is what exactly you call a line. It is a collection of infinite points. Okay. Yeah, and like Ashka said, infinite points which never ends would be a line. And like Ashka said, if it ends, it would be called a line segment, right? Because you know where it starts and you know where it ends. That's what is called a line segment. And it is generally denoted like this. So suppose this is the line AB, right? It's usually denoted like this. Okay, there is a small line on top. Okay, so that covers line and line segment. Okay, now coming to the term Aryan used. Now can you tell me what is a ray?
Ma'am, a line
Ma'am,
that
it is a line which
extends
extends
in
on one
only
side
one
only.
direction.
Okay, line that extends only in one direction. Anybody else would like to try?
ma'am, it is a straight a path that has a fixed starting point but does not have an ending point.
Okay, fixed starting point does not have an ending point. Okay, so the same thing in different words. Yes, okay, so you are right. So suppose there is a point like this, and I am going to draw something like this, right? So again, now don't get confused. There are all points lying between here also, right? There will be infinite points here on this line. It's not just two, right? Okay, so when I draw something like this, which starts somewhere and ends, and it is only in one direction, right? That's what's called a ray, like you correctly answered. So the ray definition, you got it right. Okay, so ray is generally written like this. Okay, this is called ray AB, or you put an arrow on top, that's called ray AB, right? Okay, now we have done line segment, ray. Okay, and now I'm going to draw something. I want you to tell me what is that. Okay, can you tell me what is point A called?
Vertex.
Yes, correct. Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am, vertex.
Vertex, yeah. So even in this figure or in this figure, I mean, you could choose either one of these two figures. right? In both the figures, point A would be called the vertex, right? That was the answer I was looking for. You all gave it to me. Okay. And from here, then we would arrive at the definition of what we were calling is an angle. Can anybody try?
Ma'am, the definition of an angle.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's when two rays have a common point.
Okay, quite close. Anybody else would like to try? It is a little tricky, but you can try.
Ma'am, which one?
Definition of an angle, or how would you, if you were to explain what is an angle, how would you explain that?
Ma'am, ma'am, when like yes, two rays have a common end point or an point where they meet.
Okay. Okay, any other answer? No? Okay. So yeah, what Sujal and Aryan both answered was correct. It was Sujal, right? Yeah. Sujal and Aryan both answered was correct. So angle is found between two rays which have a common endpoint or they have a common vertex, right? Okay. That's what's called an angle. So when you talk about an angle, let's come to more definitions. Okay. Okay. Some more terminologies with respect to angles and rays, right? Okay. Suppose suppose this is angle CAB, okay, or yeah, this is how it looks like. This would be angle CAB, right? And suppose I have drawn another line here, okay, another ray here, AD, right? Okay. Now, can you tell me what is AD called here?
Ma'am, an angle bisector.
It is
Okay,
a
angle. Angle bisector would be going one step ahead. I've not given any information about the angles yet. I just drew AD randomly somewhere.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. We are yet to go there. This is just I'm still discussing a few points about rays. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's something about rays only. Okay, not to worry. We'll discuss it. No worries. I will ask you more questions later. So when we talk about an angle, like you all rightly said, this point is known as a vertex, and these 2 points, basically AB and CA, are what are known as arms. Okay, these rays are known as arms of the angle, and ray AD in this case would be what is called a common arm. Okay, and why do we call it common is because ray AD is shared by both angle CAD as well as angle DAB, right? Or basically what I'm trying to say is it is shared by this angle and it is shared by this angle, right? Okay, so it is what is known as a common arm. To give you more examples, I can draw something a little bit more complicated. Okay. Okay. So for example, okay, let me label them first. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. So now FB becomes a common arm for these two angles, right? It is shared by these two. Then EB becomes a common arm for these two angles, which is nothing but this angle and this angle, right? Similarly, BD would become a common arm for this angle, which is, let me draw it in multicolor, okay, which is this angle and this angle, right? Are you getting what I'm saying, or did I make it confusing?
No, ma'am, I'm understanding.
Okay, ठीक है. At any point, if you feel you're not following or it's getting confusing, do let me know. Okay, I'll simplify the explanation. Okay, so this is what is known as a common arm, right? Okay, now we will go on to angles, and yes, we will come to angle bisectors also. Okay, let's discuss angle bisector first since we brought that term up. Okay, right. Now, when I say that ray BD, okay, bisects angle ABC, when I say this statement, that time you can say BD is nothing but the angle bisector. Okay, what is an angle bisector? Bisector is anything which divides something into two equal halves. Okay, two equal halves. This is what a bisector means. So in future in geometry you are going to come across more terms, like you will come across something called as a perpendicular bisector, right? There is going to be angle bisectors, there are going to be medians and medians, altitudes, etc. in triangles, which will also act as bisectors, right? So bisector is anything. Bi basically refers to two. Okay, uh, sector would be a geometry term, right? So two equal halves, anything which divides the other quantity into equal halves is a bisector. So in this case, BD basically divides this angle ABC into equal halves. So suppose this was, let's say 160 degrees, right? It's definitely more than 90. Let's take for example, if ABC was 160 degrees, now this angle becomes 160 by 2, which is nothing but 80 degree, and this also becomes 80 degree. That's what an angle bisector does. Okay, yeah. Perpendicular bisector would be the same thing, but it was always 90 degrees, right? And it will divide the line like this. So suppose there is a line AB and you drop a perpendicular bisector, let's say CD on AB. You might have done this in constructions probably. So CD is basically going to divide AB into equal segments. So AD will be equal to DB in this case. Okay. Okay. So this was some of the basic definitions. Okay, let me check. Did I cover all or did I miss something? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we basically covered all. We've covered line, line segment, ray, angle. Okay, we'll come to intersecting and parallel lines a bit later. Okay, now we'll discuss a few types of angles which I want you to tell me. Okay, can anybody tell me what are the types of angles you know?
Supplementary angles, and then complementary angles, adjacent angles.
Okay, okay, I will write them
Acute
here.
angle,
Right angle, straight angle,
Obtuse angle,
obtuse angle,
complete angle, zero angle,
Reflex angle.
reflex,
Oh wow, awesome. So you've given me a nice variety of examples. Yes, so okay, so you said complementary, supplementary. I'm going to write adjacent here separately. Okay, and yes, I have received the answers I was looking for, which was basically acute, obtuse, and reflex. Okay, now that you've given me the different names, can you also tell me what would be their measure?
May I?
Ma'am, acute angle is less than 90 degree.
Okay, acute angle is less than 90 degree. Yes, was it Suhani who wanted to answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Ma'am, obtuse angle is any angle which is more than 90 degree.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, the
right
other
angle
is
is angle that is exactly 90 degrees.
Okay. Ashka has also answered correct. Okay. And reflex?
anything that goes over 360 degree. Sorry, 180 degree.
Huh, 180. Correct. Anything that goes over 180 degree. Okay. Somebody has answered. Yes, yes, Ashka. Correct. Okay, so this is the basic things. You can also write it like this. I'm going to write it in green at this side. So this is how it is denoted, that it ranges from 0 to 90, right? This ranges from 90 to 180, right? And you have right angle which is exactly 90, and this would range from 180 to 360, right? This is how we denote it. This notation basically means that x lies between 0 and 90. Second one would mean x lies between 90 and 180, and so on, right? That's how you uh, write those things. Okay. Okay, yes. And of course, we have one more angle which I think Aryan mentioned, right? Which would be straight angle, which is exactly 180, right? Yeah, you can write the same thing here as x is equal to 180, right? Okay. These are our broad categories of angles. Okay, if I were to show you how they look like, let me quickly draw it here. Okay, yeah. This is an acute angle. Obtuse angle looks like this. Obtuse. This is the right angle. Okay. And we have straight angle, which looks just like a straight line, right? We usually don't draw this, but yeah, if you're denoting a straight angle, you can draw it. And the last one is reflex, which is confusing to many. So yeah, it's advisable that you, yeah. So reflex is basically the other part of the angle that you're drawing, right? So all of these angles mentioned here will have a reflex angle, which means what I'm trying to say is that this part of the acute angle is the reflex angle. This part of the obtuse angle is the reflex angle. This part of the right angle is a reflex angle. In this case, it will be 90 itself, right? Uh, no, sorry, it won't be 90. If it was a straight angle, it would be 90. No. This case, it would be the same. In this case, the reflex angle would be the same. It would be 180 itself, right? Here, it would be 360 minus 90, not 90. Okay. So reflex angle is basically the opposite part of the angle which is given or displayed, or the other part of the angle is what is called the reflex angle. Right? In questions, they will directly give you some figure like this. They might tell you this is 45 degree, and they might just tell you find the reflex angle. They don't name it. So you're supposed to write it as reflex. Suppose this is ABC. So you're supposed to write reflex ABC is equal to 360 minus 45. Right? And the final answer. like this you might get questions, right? So this is the basic way it looks. Okay, coming back to this part is where we want to discuss complementary and supplementary, the most important part of this chapter, since maximum amount of questions are asked based on these two terms itself, right? Okay. Who can tell me what are complementary angles?
Ma'am, complementary angles are basically two angles that sum up to be 90 degree.
Correct, yes. Two angles who sum up to be 90-degree, yes, correct. And what about supplementary?
There are two angles which together add up to 180.
Yes, very good. Correct. So they together, so if I were to write it here, I will write x plus y is equal to 90, and in this case x plus y is equal to 180, right? Correct. Okay. Since you've just done this chapter, maybe it is fresh in your memory, but after a point in time, you might tend to get confused between these two terms, right? What is complementary and supplementary? So, devise some kind of mechanism to remember the two, right? Because you will be directly asked questions where they give you angles like random angles. They might ask you, give you 45 and tell you find the supplementary angle of 45 degrees, right? So you can't really know whether you're supposed to do 180 minus 45 or 90 minus 45. You might get confused. So just come up with some simple way. What you can remember is one way is that there is an S in 180, right? There is an S like this. That's how it becomes 8. So you could remember it like this, that 180 is supplementary because it has an S. The 8 would form an S, so it would be supplementary. Whereas there is nothing like that in complementary, right? No S, so it would be 90. Okay. Or another thing you could use to remember is that if you if you straighten out the C, it becomes like an L, which is nothing but a 90 degree, right? So again, this is just some hints to help you devise some method to remember. Of course, you are free to come up with your own method, and even maybe you might come up with something better to remember it, right? Main objective here is that you should not get confused between whether it is 90 or 180, right? Okay, let us clear this. Okay, now we have just a few more terms which we need to discuss, and then we can go on to theorems, etc. Right? Okay, who can tell me what are parallel lines?
Ma'am, parallel lines are two lines which never meet and always travel parallel to each other.
Correct, yeah. So basically, two lines which never meet and always travel parallel to each other. For example, these two lines, right? If I call this AB and CD, right? So these two rays, we can call them rays also. These two rays are basically going to never intersect, never meet each other, and they will keep running like this till infinity. So they are parallel, right? Versus if I were to draw something like this, right? Let's call this X, Y, and ST. Okay. Right? These lines intersect at this point O, which means they are also called as intersecting lines, right? Okay. Now that we've done that, let us discuss a few terms regarding parallel lines. Okay, who can tell me what is the name of this line L which I've drawn?
Ma'am, is it transversal?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay, can anybody try to define it?
Ma'am, it is a line that divide like that is between two parallel lines or yeah.
Okay, it does not really divide parallel lines. You could say between two parallel lines. Okay, acceptable.
Can we say that it intersects two parallel lines?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Intersects.
intersects.
I wasn't
Okay.
able to remember the word.
Ha.
Ma'am, it
Okay.
can be more than two also, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. I was coming to that. So it's not restricted to two. It can be multiple parallel lines, right? So transversal is basically a line which intersects various parallel lines, right? Or passes through, cuts through various parallel lines. Okay. There could be definitely there could be more than two if you have something like this, and this line is also called as a transversal. Sometimes there are more also. Sometimes there would be a line passing like this through this. So both, so if I call this L and I call this M, both of these are transversals, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, it is still erasing. Huh, okay, done. Now we are going to name some of the angles which are there here. For that, let me number them first. Call this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's call this 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so our first job is to label interior angles. Which would be the interior angles?
Ma'am, angle 3, 4, 5, and 6.
3, 4, 5, and 6. Anybody wants to give any different answer?
No, ma'am.
No, everybody's agreeing.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, so you're right. So it would be 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now if I say exterior angles,
1, 2, 7,
1, 2,
8.
7, and 8.
very good. Be 1, 2, 7, and 8. Okay, now we come to which one should I take? Okay. Alternate interior angles.
3 and 6, 4 and 5.
3 and 6, 4 and 5. Awesome. So this would be 3 and 6, 4 and 5. Right? Okay, and what about alternate exterior angles?
1 and
Angle
8 and 2
7 and
and
3.
7.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, somebody say 2 and 3? That would not be correct. Okay. Exterior is you look at all the outside ones. So yeah, 1 and 8 and 2 and 7 would be the exterior ones. 1 and 8 and 2 and 7. Right. Okay. This what you are saying, right? I don't know who said it. I'm sorry, I did not really catch your name when you said. Yeah. So 2 and 3 form what are known as vertically opposite angles. Right? Vertically opposite angles are basically angles which are, I mean, I don't have to, it's the same thing as the name, right? Suppose I've drawn a figure here. Suppose, so vertically opposite angles would be this and this, right? Or it could be this angle and this angle, which I've drawn in green, right? Angles which are opposite each other vertically are called vertically opposite angles. So in this case, all combinations of vertically opposite angles would be 2 and 3, 1 and 4, 5 and 8, 6 and 7, right? That's the only possible combinations. Let me write it here. That would be better. Vertically opposite angles, right? Okay. So that would be 1 and 4, 2 and 3. Okay, let me just. Right, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 5 and 8, And 6 and 7.
7 and 6.
Yes, correct. 7 and 6. Okay. Next term we could talk about would be we finished all with what am I left with? Okay, can anybody tell me corresponding angles?
1
Ma'am,
and
2
5.
and 6.
Both of you are correct. More, there are more, right? The
4
other,
3
and
and
8
7.
and 3 and 7.
yes, correct.
2 and 8.
2 and 8, yes, correct. So corresponding angles basically are you leave one and you jump to the next, right? For example, you leave, if you're taking one, so you jump 3 and you take the next, which is 5. Or if you're looking at this side, so you take 2, you jump 4 and you take the next, which would be 6. If you're considering 3, you jump 5 and you take 7, right? I mean, it would be good if you could draw this parallel line in your notebook and you could note down all these angles which I'm writing here, right? It would be a good thing to refer back to, right? Okay. So corresponding angles would be 1 and 5, uh, 3 and 7. I'm writing ones on one side first, right? And then this side it would be 2 and 6 and 4 and 8, right? 4 and 8. Okay. Are we left with something? Yes, we are left with the most important one, which are known as co-interior angles or allied angles. Okay. Can anybody try this one?
Ma'am, angle 1 and 2.
1 and 2, no. 1 and 2 form what are
Angle
called adjacent angles.
Ma'am,
Huh.
3 and
um,
6.
3 and 5.
3 and 6, no. 3 and 6 would become interior, alternate interior angles. 3 and 5
3
is
and
correct.
5, 4 and 6.
Yes, you are correct. Absolutely correct. So co-interior angles are basically angles which are interior, right? As the name suggests. And co means on the same side. So suppose this is your parallel line. So this angle and this angle form co-interior angles, right? And same on the other side. Okay. So remember co as in they are next to each other and interior would be on the interior side, right? Okay. So your examples would be 3 and 5 and 4 and 6. Okay. Did we miss out on anything or did we cover all types? I think we did. Okay, if anybody wants to take this one down also you can take it down. You can mention adjacent angles. I'm writing only one or two. You can fill up the rest, right? Because there are many. So angle 1 and angle 2, angle 2 and angle 4, angle 1 and angle 3, and so on, right? So basically all angles which are next to each other would become adjacent angles, right? Okay. Okay, have you taken this down? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, cool. Okay, let's go on to theorems and axioms. Okay. Finally. Okay, before we start with theorems and axioms, I wanted to tell you the difference between the two words, right? Especially in geometry, you're going to come across these two words, even this one, actually, interchangeably, right? These three terms you're going to keep coming across, so I just wanted to tell you the difference between them. Okay, axioms are basically statements which are taken to be true, which are taken to be true, right? Theorems are what are called as hypothetical statements. Hypothetical basically is a word which basically means imaginary, right? Or you form is what is called an hypothesis is what you are coming to some kind of statement, right? You come up with some kind of mathematical statement which you call as a hypothesis, right? And you then perform proofs and you establish that yes, whatever statement you came up with was correct. That's what is called a theorem, right? So these are hypothetical statements. And proofs are, of course, they are these detailed mathematical statements which are done in order to prove the theorems, right? Okay. Why am I telling you this is because you are going to come across these terms quite often in geometry, especially, right? Triangles chapter, lines and angles, etc. All these places. But you should know that which ones will have proofs and which ones will not, right? Because in exams they might directly just give you statements that prove this, so that time it should strike you that yes, this is some part of a theorem or this is the theorem, which means I need to know the proof for this statement, whereas this is an axiom, so definitely there will not be a proof for this statement, like that. Okay, for that reason I'm just explaining. No, you don't need to remember the definition or any such thing. Okay. Okay, just a second. I don't think I have shared my screen. Yeah. This is your chapter notes, right? We discussed all these basic
I
definitions.
can't see the screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
Ma'am, we can.
You can.
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, Suhani, just check once. Are you able to see?
No, should I leave and rejoin?
Okay, you can do that. Okay, yeah. So we've discussed all these basic definitions, right? We discussed what is a line, line segment, ray, angle. Yeah, what are these types of angles? It's also mentioned here with the diagram. Right, the straight angle which measures exactly 180. This is a typo. It should be 180, okay, not 190. This is 180, right? Okay, reflex angles measures more than 180 and 360, right? So like there is 180, there would be a complete angle which is 360 and zero angle would measure 0 degree. Okay. These are not that frequently asked. The ones which are frequently asked are reflex angle. Among all these, reflex is the one which is most commonly asked. Straight angle is used while doing theorems, etc. Okay. What are pairs of angles? A combination of two angles is called pairs of angles, right? Like here x and y would be called pair of angles. Okay. Complementary we did. Supplementary we also did. Adjacent I explained what is common arm also, right? Okay. We forgot what is linear pair. So a linear pair is basically two angles. Okay. Sorry, my line did not come out straight. Let me try again. Oh, better. Yes, Ashka, you're correct. A pair that forms 180. So basically there are angles or there are adjacent angles which sum up to 180, or basically you can say that lie on a straight line, or they sum up to 180, right, are basically what are called as linear angles. So in this case, these two angles would be linear. You can draw them anyhow, right? You can draw this, like this, right? Main condition is that they should be adjacent, right? And they should lie on a straight line. Only then this holds good. If it is too, uh, if I'm drawing something like this, I cannot say that, okay, yeah, I cannot say that these angles are linear angles, right? There are more than two and they are not lying on a straight line, right? Okay, coming back.
Ma'am, I had a doubt.
Tell me.
Ma'am, so in this, what if we have two angles on a straight line? Like a straight line, and then we have two angles. So will those be called linear pairs?
Okay, so this is your straight line and there is
Two
one here
angles.
and this is one
Yes, ma'am.
angle and this is another angle. Yes,
No,
of
ma'am, not
course.
like that. Like
Uh,
one more this thing ray, another
okay,
ray from the same point.
one more ray you're saying. Okay, so three angles basically is what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Three angles. Um, no, we usually call when there are only two, we call them as a linear pair of angles because there should be two, right? Pair usually denotes two. This would also sum up to 180. You're right that it would sum up to 180, but it would not be called a linear pair of angles.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, till this erases. Yeah. Okay. So remember it like pair would always refer to two, right? So there should be two. Uh, that's when you can call them linear pair of angles. Yeah. Vertically opposite also we discussed, right? Transversal, yeah, a line that intersects two or more lines in a given plane. Right. Okay. Parallel lines which do not intersect ever. Then what are exterior angles, interior alternate, exterior alternate, corresponding? Yeah, we discussed all these, right? Again, you should know all these because these are frequently asked in the exams or the theorems or what we are going to do for parallel lines are all based on all these angles, right? So even if you don't know the definitions of ray, line, segment, etc., that's for your understanding. That's fine. But you need to know all these. So which angles, when you're given parallel lines, which angles are exterior alternate, corresponding, co-interior. All these you are supposed to know, right? Okay. Yeah, like there are a few um, axioms, theorems, and derivations here, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is the continuation. They have given you a diagram of a parallel line with a transversal, the ones we discussed, right? And they've given you the six angles. Yeah. They've. I think they missed out on mentioning co-interior here, but I hope you've taken a note of that, right? Yeah. And there are some properties of parallel lines which are cut by a transversal, right? So these properties are very important. To understand the property, you need to know which are alternate, which are external alternate, which are corresponding, right? So basically, I'll just quickly take you through the properties. Okay. So this is my transversal L. Let's say this is my line AB and this is my line CD. Right? So a few properties are vertically opposite angles are always equal. VOA stands for vertically opposite angles. Right? Okay, they are always equal. Another thing is that corresponding angles are always equal. So you can make a note of this just below the parallel lines and the angles that we just spoke about few minutes back. You must have taken note of that, right? So you can just write these points in continuation to that, right? Are always equal. Another property is that alternate interior angles are always equal. Right? What else is there? Yeah, external are also equal, right? I missed that. Alternate exterior or external, they are the same thing. Okay, same words. Are always equal. Okay. Did I miss out any other equal ones, or can we? Yeah, okay. I think I'm done with. Okay. So these four are always equal, right? Vertically opposite, corresponding, which means basically this and this will be equal. 2 and 3 will be equal. 1 and 4 will be equal, right? 5 and 8 will be equal. 6 and 7 will be equal. This is irrespective of whether a line is parallel or not. Vertically opposite angles are always equal, right? Okay, we'll come to that axiom in a bit. Next thing they are trying to say is corresponding angles, which means 1 and 5 are equal, 2 and 6 are equal, 4 and 8 are equal, 3 and 7 are equal. Alternate interior would be 3 and 6, 4 and 5 are equal, etc. And same for exterior, so 2 and 7, 8 and 1, right? Another thing is that 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 always sum up to 180, which means co-interior angles sum up to 180, right? So suppose if you know 4, how do you find 6 is by doing 180 minus 4. Same thing for the other side, right? Okay, so those are the 5 things that you've been given here, right? That's what sum of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is 180. That's what this statement exactly means. Okay, I'll write it in red. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are what are called as co-interior angles, right? It's the same thing. Sum of exterior angles on the same side of the transversal is also 180, right? So 1 and 6 are 180. There's no term for this. You can remember this like that itself. Not very commonly used property, but yeah, you can remember this. So if interior on the same side will be equal, exterior also will be equal to 180, right? Okay. What is the sixth point? If a transversal cuts two lines such that one of the following is true, then the lines are parallel. Yeah. So what they're trying to say is basically, suppose you've not been given that it is parallel. You might just be given a figure like this, right? You might just be given lines and a transversal like this, but they have given you any of these 5 properties, or any of these 5 properties you've derived to be true or proved to be true. Suppose you prove that this angle and this angle is the same, right? So you can use that result and eventually conclude that AB and CD are parallel. Wow. Oh my. Okay. Is my screen visible? I think my computer just.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay. I think my screen just froze. Give me a minute. Okay, by the time my browser loads again, you can just go through the properties which I was just discussing, right? Just go through that from your chapter notes. Just give me 1 minute, I will open up the pages again. Okay, just a second, my whiteboard is still not loading. Finally. Okay, yeah, so we were at this point, right? I was mentioning that suppose you might be given two parallel lines. Okay, it is still not loading. Yeah, you might be just given some lines. Let me draw it here till time. Yeah, you might be given two lines like this and a transversal. They might just tell you M is the transversal, but you need to prove that these two lines A, B, and C, D are parallel. For that, you can use any of these results which they are mentioned here. If you proved any of this to be correct, then you can directly say that AB is parallel to CD. This is how you write is parallel, right? Okay. ठीक है. Done. Okay. These are some examples of how to find complement and parallel lines. What we'll do is let me take you through the textbook for a bit because there are important axioms and theorems given in the textbook which I want you to know. Okay, so let me come back to NCRT. My screen is visible, right? No issues.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. ठीक है. Yes, okay. Okay, so we discussed all this. What happened to the axiom one? Let me, yeah, here it is. Right, so like I said, axioms will not really have proofs, whereas theorems would have proof. The main reason I explained the meaning of those terms was for that. Right, so this is your very first axiom. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, this is the statement, right? You can write in your book stating axiom 1 and you can write down this statement in your notebook, right? If a ray stands on a line, then the sum of two adjacent angles so formed is 180 degree. This is basically the definition of linear pair of angles, right? So you can write this also in bracket that it's the same thing, right? Yeah, it's given here in the next statement itself. Right, so basically what they are trying to say is that if a ray, this is the line, right? Suppose this is your line. Let me not draw the arrow. This is your line, and if a ray stands on the line, then these two angles are basically sum up to 180. This is what your statement is, which is the exact definition of a linear pair of angles, right? Okay. Whatever is given here is just examples or this meaning of an axiom, and they've just given a few examples on how to identify or what it basically means. You can ignore all this. This is not really required, right? Okay. They've just drawn and they are giving you different examples and they're asking you whether it is a linear pair or not, right? The important thing here is that yeah, the important part here would be this part, that if the sum of two angles is adjacent angles is 180, then a ray stands on a line. This statement is known to be the converse of the first statement. Converse is basically anything which is ulta or reverse, you could say. So in this case, you've been given that a ray stands on a line, right? So I'm giving you a line and I'm giving you a ray on the line. And then I'm telling you that if you are given this, which means the sum is 180, right? And what this statement A means is that if I'm telling you that the sum of two adjacent angles is 180, which means that they are standing like this. That means it is nothing but a line and a ray on that line. That's what converse means, that these statements can be used interchangeably, right? Okay. So this would be your first part of the statement. This is your second part. You can reverse them. It will still hold true. That's what converse means, right? Okay. Again, converse becomes another word which you must know and understand, because in geometry it is full of theorems and converse of theorems, right? Okay. ठीक है. I hope you can either write it down or you can mark in your textbook, whichever is convenient for you. But mark this part is important and this line is important. These two are the only important statements here, nothing more, right? Okay, let's go ahead to axiom 2. Yeah. Axiom 2 says if the sum of two adjacent angles is 180, then the non-common arms of the angles form a line. So they have taken statement A and they have written it as a axiom, right? The statement A given above. Okay, let me write it here. This is the same as that statement A. So this is the converse, right? This is the converse of axiom 1. Converse of 1. Let me write it like that. Right? So when you are given that the sum is 180, then the non-common arms of the angles form a line. Why you must now I hope it must be getting a little bit clear why we have spent some time in the starting of the class in understanding what are non-common arms, what are rays, what is a line, etc. Right? So now it will be very clear that these two would be your non-common arms, right? So the non-common arms form a line. That's correct, right? Okay. Again, axioms don't have proof, so you just need to know the statement as it is. You can solve questions by just saying that this is true because of this axiom, or I'm using this axiom to solve this question and get my result, right? That's how they are used. Okay, this is an interesting theorem and we have a proof for it also, which is if two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, I will explain this proof to you. Right, so they are basically saying if two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, let's take this to be A, O, B and C and D. So what do we need to prove is that angle AOD is equal to angle BOC, right? These are nothing but okay, yeah, these are nothing but vertically opposite angles, right? Okay. ठीक है. Before we start proving, can you tell me what is this? What does this form?
No, I don't.
Okay. I've just broken down this part from this figure and I am showing it here. So, okay, tell me, is AC a line? Can AC be said to be a line?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, correct. It extends in both directions, right? It is a line.
Yes.
Okay, and what would you call, okay, I'll write O also. What would you call OB? A
It's a ray.
line? Ray,
It's
huh.
a ray.
It's a ray. Okay. And can I say OB is also the common arm here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now can you tell me what is this figure then which I've drawn here?
Ma'am, that's just the.
Okay, I gave you a hint. AC is a line. OB is the ray. Something we just discussed. Like, okay, I give you a hint what we just discussed. I drew so many diagrams just now. AC is a line. OB
I'm
is,
a linear pair.
yes, awesome. Or OB is a common arm. Hannah, which means this whole setup is nothing but a linear pair of equations. Or linear pair of, sorry, linear pair of angles. I'm so used to that linear pair of equations chapter that Always equations comes at the end. Okay. It is basically a linear pair of angles, right? There is a common arm and they are on a line, which means the sum of these two will be
180.
180. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you all are all paying attention in class. Good, good. Okay. So now we are going to use this part or this linear pair of angle property to prove that the vertically opposite angles are equal, right? Okay. Okay. So now that we know that this forms a linear pair, okay, I will still write it here that angle AOB and angle BOC form a linear pair. Similarly, ulta also is applicable, right? So angle AOD and angle COD also form a linear pair, correct? Okay. Now if I were to talk about, okay, we'll talk about AOD and COD first. So which means AOD plus COD is equal to 180. है ना? And now we want to get a relation in terms of AOD, right? Because in our to prove AOD is there. So can I also say I'm just taking COD to the RHS 180 minus COD, correct? Now let's take this one and write the same thing, right? So AOB plus BOC gives me 180, right? Which means I want something in terms of BOC. So I'm going to write it as BOC is equal to 180 minus AOB. Okay. But this is not over yet. We did not come to any conclusion, right? Okay. Now I have BOC in terms of AOB. I want to convert AOB back to COD. How can I do that?
Ma'am, could you repeat?
I said I have AOD in terms of COD and I have BOC in terms of AOB, right? Which means I have them in terms of these angles. AOB is nothing but this angle and COD is nothing but this angle, right? So how can I bring them to a common this? How can I uh, come to a common angle where then I can directly say AOD is equal to BOC? What I was asking. Okay. Okay, let me simplify the question. Tell me, are these two the only linear pair or are there more? Tell me that.
Ma'am, AOB and DOC is also a linear pair.
AOB and BOC. We wrote that, na? AOB and BOC, here it is. Are there any more linear pairs or are these the only ones?
AOD and AOB is also a linear pair.
Awesome. Yes, that's what I was looking for.
And COD and BOC.
AOB and AOD also are a linear pair. So I'm just directly writing the conclusion here, which means I can say that AOD is also equal to 180 minus AOB, right? Okay. Now, okay. Now, if you compare equation 2 and 3, can you see something is anything striking? Okay, look at this equation and look at this equation. Aren't they the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, no.
No?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Accelerated.
Yes? No?
Ma'am, just
Meaning the
yes,
basic
ma'am.
formula is the same.
Huh, okay. RHS is the same, right? Okay. So here is our proof. The RHS of both the sides is the same, which means I can say that AOD is equal to BOC, right? From 2 and 3. So what we did here was basically we used the linear pair of angles property, right? We use that property that linear pair of angles, the sum is always 180. And we use that to derive the relation that AOD is equal to BOC, which means vertically opposite angles are equal, right? You can do the same thing if you want. I can like after class you can use this same question to prove these two angles. Which two angles? These two. Prove that DOC is equal to AOB. I'm writing it here. Try to prove this on your own. If you've understood this, you will be able to get the answer for this also, right? They are also vertically opposite angles. They also should be equal, right? Okay, so you can try this as homework to check if you've understood what we've done here, right? So this is one of the basic theorem proofs that we have in this chapter. Okay, have you noted this down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If in case you've not understood it right now, do one thing. You can go over this proof after class. Go through it once before next class. And if you still don't understand, in tomorrow's class, we can explain it again, right? Okay. And definitely you must try to solve this also. If after doing both the things, if you are still feeling a little bit confused or you're not understood, we'll explain it again tomorrow. Okay? Okay. Yes, so the same thing is given here that we've done that. Okay, example. Let me take up one more. Do we have one more?
Ma'am, can you go back to the last screen, ma'am? I just want to check. I think I made a
Sure,
error.
sure.
This one. Thank you. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Let me just see. Yeah, we did all this. Are there any more? Okay, let's do theorem. Right. Yeah. There are many theorems, but not all of them have proofs. Let's do this one also, which has a proof. Right. Okay. Or let me just see, do we have? Okay, let me give you a choice. Should we solve a couple of questions from the workbook till whatever we've done now, or should we do one more theorem? What would you prefer? It's okay, you can tell me anything. One more theorem, or should we solve a couple of questions? I won't take up too many questions, just like 2, 3 maybe. Questions? Okay. The others? Workbook. ठीक है, ठीक है. Workbook. Either would do. Okay, we are leaning more towards workbook. Okay, then let's take up a few questions from the workbook. Let's do that. Okay, then we shall continue the theorems tomorrow. There aren't that many. There are just two, three. There are statements. There are many, but the ones with the proofs are not that many. There are just less. Okay. ठीक है. Okay. So the first questions are complementary and supplementary. ठीक है. Let's do question 1 and 2. Okay. हाँ. Tell me.
Ma'am, ma'am, it's two. Ma'am, first one I'm done.
Done? Okay. Okay. We'll discuss the answer in a bit. Okay. In the given figure, angle AOC and BOC form a linear pair, right? So determine the value of x. If you solve this, you can post your answer in the chat box so that I can also know that everybody is done or not, right? So this is 6x. In case it is not visible, this is 3x, right? You need to find the value of x. Okay. Yeah, it's correct, Aryan. Yes, Suhani. Yes, Ashka. Correct. Okay, so we'll be solving the first three questions. So the minute you are done, you can post your answers for whichever ones. They're all different ones, so we'll solve all three. So Jal, the first one you're saying your answer is wrong. Check again. Okay, let me discuss the first one. Let's not take up too much time in each question. Yes, correct. Sujal, correct. Okay, so the first question is straightforward. These form a linear pair of angles, right? Which means the sum is 180. So you do 6x plus 3x is equal to 180. 9x is equal to 180 or x is equal to
Divide
20.
by 2.
Yes, correct.
Yes, ma'am. 20.
20. Correct. So your answer should be 20. For the first one, it is 20. Okay. Second one. Aryan, second one I will have to check. I'm not sure of the answer. Let me check. Okay. Let me solve it and check. Okay. Okay, you've got then it seems to be correct. If you got the answer like that, it seems to be correct. Let me check. Okay, Suhani is also answered. Okay, correct, Suhani. What about the others? We are doing 6.1.2.
Ma'am, could you like explain how to do? I am a bit confused.
Okay, sure. Why not? Okay, so complement is basically, let us go back to our, 6.1.2. Right, complement is basically 90 or 180.
Ma'am, 90.
90.
Correct. Complement is 90. Okay. So now the question is given if an angle is 16 degrees more than its complement, right? So let me take the angle as x. Okay. So what would its complement be?
X.
No, the angle is x. So the complement would be 90 minus x, correct? Because the sum of the two should be 90, right? Angle plus complement gives you 90. Angle plus complement gives you 90, which means the complement is always 90 minus angle. Okay, this is how I got this. Right, now coming back to our question, it says if an angle is 16 degrees more than its complement, which means angle is 16 degrees more than its complement would be this. Right, and you solve. So this would be x is equal to 2x is equal to 90 plus 16, right? Or x is equal to what is 90 plus 16? It would be yes, Ashka, correct answer.
106.
Yeah,
90 plus
correct.
16.
So if you are getting the angle as 53, your complement would be 90 minus 53, which would be this would be 8 minus 5, which would be 3, right? So the angle is 53 and your complement is 37.
And the method I used is a bit different.
Okay, what did you do?
So I did 90, so x plus 16 is equal to 90. So x plus x becomes 2x
Yes, ma'am,
plus
I did the
16.
same thing.
I did. Yes, ma'am. I did the same thing.
So 16 goes to 90. 90 minus 16 is 74. 74 upon 2 is 37. So I got the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you all are saying you all did x plus x is plus 16 is equal to 90, like this.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It basically changes to the same logic, right? If I do the same thing, it will come down to the same logic, so it's okay. Yeah. So you'll get the angle and the complement, or you might get it reverse. In this case, you might get the angle as 37 and complement as 53. That's fine. They could be interchangeable. The angle and complement can always be interchangeable. That is not an issue. Okay. And this method is also correct. This method is also correct. Anyone you want, you can follow.
And can you show the third question?
Yes. This is the third one. If the supplement of an angle is 2/3 of itself, then determine the angle and the supplement. In this one, the method I just showed you would be helpful because you would
Is the answer 135?
no, it's something else. Okay, try again or we'll discuss. Not to worry, we'll discuss this. I hope the others are also solving. I have not received answers from the others. Okay, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I think Samruddhi. Samruddhi, you're getting it, right?
Yes, ma'am, there was some network issue, so I had to leave the meeting 2 times.
Okay. Yeah, if you're not understanding any part, do let me know. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am, sure.
okay.
Ma'am, I think I got it. Is it 90?
Hey, no.
Ma'am, is it
Okay.
58?
Aryan, you look at it this way, right? If it was 90, then if the supplement of an angle is 2/3 of itself, the supplement would also be 90, right? Then how
Oh,
is
yeah.
this condition valid? Okay, just think and
Ma'am, is
solve.
it 58?
No. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong question, is it? No. I'm looking at the correct question. No, it's not that answer. Okay, let's discuss this. Not to worry. Okay. 6.1.3. Again, you can let angle be x. This is the best method to use because you will not go wrong. Then therefore supplementary would be supplement or supplementary angle you could say would be 180 minus x, right? Okay. And what does it say? If the supplement of an angle is 2/3 of itself, so which means I am saying that 180 minus x, this is my supplement, is 2/3 of itself would be 2/3 of x of an angle, right? So the angle is x here, so 2/3 x. Now solve, now you'll get it correct.
Is it 46?
No. Is there some error here? Okay, let me solve and check. Maybe there is some error in the answer key. Okay, so this becomes, leave this as 3 into 180 minus 3x is equal to 2x. So then this would go that side, it will become plus, so it will be 3 into 180 is equal to 5x, right? Or x is equal to 3 into 180 by 5. Some answer have I got? Yeah, Samruddhi, yeah, your answer seems to be correct, but let me just check. I'm not sure if there is problem in the answer key or where. Okay. So 5 threes are 15, 36 are 36, right? So 36 into 3 will be 18, 1, 3 threes are 9 and 1, 108. Yes, Samruddhi, correct. Yes. Now all of you got it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Yes.
So you're asked to find its measures. They are all talking in terms of the angle. Okay. Where is it? Okay, determine the angle and the supplement both. So if this is your angle, x is your angle, right? So supplement would be 180 minus x, which would be nothing but 180 minus 108, which would be nothing but 72, right? Yeah, 72. So you must write both. Always check what they are asking in the question. If they have asked for both angle and supplement, you must give both the values, right? See, in this case, your answer would not be interchangeable. You would get angle as 108 as supplement as 72 only. Previous question, yeah, you could get either. That was fine. Okay. Shall we do one last question? Let me see a good one. There are plenty of supplement complement questions here. You can do these for practice. Maybe I can give as homework. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll give you these questions as homework. You can practice them today so that, yeah, these ones. I will be giving, so 6.1.4 to 6.1.14, right? They're just 10 questions. You can do them as homework, right? They're all just based on supplement complement, nothing else. All possible
Till how
combinations.
much, ma'am? 6.1.
6.1.4, this question, let me mark it. Just a second. Yeah, this question. Oh, this question to here. Okay, it's not taking. Yeah, I'll write it here. Homework 6.1.4 to 6.1.14. 10 questions. But you have to do this before tomorrow's class. I will be asking Lasya ma'am to check if you've done it or not. Okay. All questions are just based on supplementary, complementary. Nothing else. No other concept. Okay. Okay, let me take up one more question of a triangle. No. We didn't do triangle. Okay, let's do these two questions. Should we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do question 6.1.24 and 25 if time permits. Yeah, this one. In the figure, if AOC is 50, there's something wrong because they've given AOD as 50. Okay, okay, I think they want you to find, just a second. Okay, there's something wrong with the question. Yeah, it should be AOD itself. Then only it makes sense. Right? If AOD is 50, what would be the... Still not making sense. Okay. Okay, skip this question for now. Something wrong with it. I'm not sure what. Because if they've given you AOC value and they're asking AOD plus COB, it would still be... Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. This is AOD is 50. What would be this angle? And then tell me finally what would be 50 plus this angle. That is your final answer. You can do this orally also. Who can give me the answer first?
Ma'am, it's 50 only.
Correct. So the sum would be
100.
100.
100 degree.
Awesome. Yes. Very good. So this would be vertically opposite. So this would be 50 itself. Okay. Where is the pen? Yeah.
Ma'am,
This
I
would be
think
50.
in this question, as it's written AOD is equal to 50, then we can change this, then find angle AOC plus COB.
But AOC plus COB is always 180, right? That's what even I got confused at what exactly do they want you to find? Because it doesn't make sense that they've given AOD and they're asking for AOC plus COB. This will always be a linear pair. Let me clear. Yeah. So this and this will always be a linear pair. So the sum would always be 180, right? Won't change. Doesn't matter what this is. Which means if this is also 50, then this would come down to 40. Sorry, yeah, 180 minus 50, not 40. I'm taking it as 90.
130.
Yes, correct. So this would be 130, right? Because all of them have to be linear pairs, which means this plus this also has to be 180. This plus this also has to be 180. This plus this also has to be 180, right? And then this would also be 130. All would be like this. So yeah, this question doesn't really make much sense unless they just want you to find out the vertically opposite angle. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, let's do one last question for the day and wrap it up. The 6.1.25. In the given figure, XYZ is a straight line. If XYP, okay, let me mark what have they given. YP is this angle plus ZYQ is this angle is 85. Then find this angle. Okay. You can write your answers in the chat box. Yes, Ashka. Awesome. Ashka has already answered. What about the others? Yes, Aryan. Superb. Sujal has also answered. Just a second. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I'm waiting for answers from the others. Samruddhi and Ashka has answered. Samruddhi and Suhani. I'm waiting for answers from
Yes,
the two
ma'am.
of you. Oh, Suhani has left the meeting. I guess she has internet issues. Samruddhi, do you want me to explain the question? Do you want some help?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm confused. I don't know how to solve this problem.
Not to
Ma'am,
worry, not to worry. I'll explain.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Arya.
Ma'am, for the homework, ma'am, we had to do until 6.1, 6.1.4 to 6.1.8.
No. 6.1.4 to 14.
14. Okay, ma'am, 14.
Don't worry, I'll post it on the group after class also. In case you missed it, you can take it from there.
Ma'am.
And deadline would be before tomorrow's class, not extend more, because I think tomorrow you might get new homework. Right. Okay, let's discuss this question quickly. Okay. Samruddhi, you need to help me here. Okay. If I'm saying XYZ is a straight line, what does it mean?
Ma'am, it's 180 degree.
Very good. This is 180 degree. Okay, and now I'm also telling you that this angle, which is XYP, and this angle, which is nothing but ZYQ, is together. So these two together is 85 degree, right? So you already know that all these three together, let me use this color. So these three together is 180, correct? Because it's a straight line.
Yes, ma'am.
And two together is 85. So what would the third one be?
Ma'am, 180 minus 85?
Yes, correct. So 180 minus 85. So your answer would be 5. This would be 7, right? This would be 10. This would be 0. This would be 17. And this would be 9. Right? So you get 95 as your answer. Okay, good. I will inform Lasya ma'am that we are yet to do some of the theorems and proofs. And okay, ठीक है. And that I've given you homework till 6.1.14. Okay. ठीक है. Does anybody have any doubts till what we did? Anything? No? Okay. Okay, then let's end the session. See you all tomorrow or next class. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.